So Anthem Next is done. Again, I'm not happy. I'm not dancing on the grave of people's hopes and dreams. I want to make that clear. Look, I know some people like this game. It felt cool. It felt it had an interesting core concept. The whole thing was pretty much bungled from the start. They had this concept. They had this long vision. What Anthem was supposed to be was not what we got, and what Anthem Next was trying to be was trying to get back a little bit of that core concept within so many constraints that you just didn't have the ability to do it. They just didn't have the ability to do it. Not with that engine, and this is where the fault lies. If you want to know who to blame for this, it's EA. It's EA for forcing this stupid engine down the throat of BioWare, telling them, no, you have to make this game with this. It has to be this because this is our new proprietary technology. And it was stupid, useless, and poorly designed from the get-go. There is so much energy that was wasted, so many thousands and thousands of man-hours burned away on stupid concepts, on stupid trying to make things work, trying to make they would make a widget or a gadget, for some, tech, or some scenario or something somewhere, and then you'd end up having the same person not the same person, you'd end up having the same widget made by 20 different people in the company multiple times over, just because they needed the thing, and there was no way to import or access tools or to pop things over. There was no unified front on this. This is an absolute travesty of game development and design. It just falls on the face of just the upper staff not knowing what they were leading, the middle management staff desperately trying to keep something running, and the lower entry or the grunts of the company just being confused by everything that was going on constantly. And this idea that BioWare magic would fix everything, that it would just come together in the last few months. Well, they didn't even have a full 2 years to work on this project. Like, they worked on it before that, but it was a lot of conceptual stuff, paperwork, and a lot of asset creation that turns out most of the stuff they couldn't even use. So Anthem's gone. I suspect that they'll close it down here as soon as it becomes unprofitable, and I'm pretty sure the unprofitable range is going to happen pretty soon. I would imagine that now that they know that Next is canceled, I don't see any reason for any players to remain playing on this thing. And what was a handful of, sometimes upwards of 1,000 people playing the game, is now going to drop down to, I would say, probably less than 100 people playing the game. And because for some reason you always have that core group of people who just refuse to let something go. And trust me, I've been there. I know how you feel. I do. I'm still waiting for my 5.5 seasons of Firefly. So I get it, guys. I do, and I feel sorry that it had to be this way. But this game never deserved the love and the compassion that it got from fans. It never deserved it, because the people who were behind the screen, in this case EA, making these horrendous decisions, forcing this tech down on their developers, they never loved you, and they never loved this concept of this game. So why support them? Why help them? Why do anything to make their life easier now that they've trashed the thing that could have been great, that could have been cool? And are we going to see the same thing coming out of Dragon Age and Mass Effect in the future? And I'm afraid to say that this is almost certainly likely at this point. They with Bethesda, they at least had the stick-to-itiveness, the attempt to make this thing right, the attempt to make this thing grow. But you don't have that with BioWare. This every time somebody was put, and we knew this from the beginning, every time somebody was put in charge of this project, they would turn around and walk out. They would leave the company for any other job offer, because this was a dead end, and they knew it to begin with. There were just so many problems and so much so many hurdles to get past, so many walls to climb, that it was going to be a nightmare if you could do it. And then even if you managed to do it, somebody else would be there to take all of the praise, all of the glory, and to basically say, yeah, no, this is what we wanted. And it's just an utter shame. I'm reminded of Final Fantasy, the online, the MMO. You had kind of a similar thing where that happened, where the original design lead behind it created this absolute garbage piece of a game on garbage technology, and it fell flat. And then you had this new guy come in, and he recreated it from the ashes. He pulled it back, tried to make it work with the engine that it had. It just couldn't. So he talked the board into basically giving him the just redoing the whole thing, and it's worked. It's worked amazingly well for that game and for even in some ways for the genre. But we were never gonna see this happen with Next, because Anthem just wasn't cared about enough by the company, by the publisher that makes it, to actually give a dang about anything when it came to this game. So yeah, this is bad news for BioWare. This means that just overall EA doesn't have the faith in them. They may have good developers there, but those developers I think are at this point wasting their time. It would be better to get into basically any other company at this point, any other publisher, to get away from the publisher that chokes the life out of studios, that destroys the ambitions of middle management and upper management, that trashes the ideas and the concepts and the dreams of the leaders in the company, and then turns to these entry-level guys, these low-level grunts, and says, hey, just keep making all of the stuff that all of these people made, and just do it faster, better, and also for cheaper, because we're not giving you a raise. Like, this is the company that you're dealing with. This is the company that has justifiably earned their 2 worst company in the world awards, in a row. And this is it. This is done. And this is sad. This is a sad moment for games. This is a sad moment for gaming. This is a very sad moment for BioWare, and I believe that this is the beginning of the end for that studio. And I hate to see it, because I know a lot of people that work there, and my heart goes out to you guys, because this sucks. It really does. And it really sucks for you guys, and it sucks for the gamers who have come to love your IPs. I know a lot of people went to BioWare to work on games there because this was their dream, and now it's slowly turning into a nightmare. And what makes it worse is that a lot of these people are now essentially out of options when it comes to moving, when it comes to relocating, and it's going to be a hard year for these guys. I hope they can nail Dragon Age. I hope this rekindles. I hope they have new leaders and new people to take up the reins of old leadership. But right now, I'm personally not seeing it. Doesn't mean I don't want it to happen. I'm not seeing it right now, and I really, really want it. I really want them to get this back, but I don't know how they're going to do it in the current stuff that's going on there right now. With the whole C word that we can't mention, the all the stuff that's going around the world because of that. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this done, and it's really sad.